Welcome to Echoes of Faith, where stories of hope, grace, and redemption come to life. Each story is a journey of faith, a testament to the power of God's love, and a reminder that no one is ever too far from His grace. Today, we bring you a powerful journey of a woman whose voice once lifted souls, but whose heart became lost in the shadows of regret. This is the story of Delores Whitaker, a gospel legend who found herself broken, only to be restored by the unshakable power of faith and forgiveness. Join us as we journey through the gospel singer's redemption, a testimony to grace, second chances, and the healing power of song. Delores D. Whitaker had a voice that could shake the rafters and stir souls. Once, she had been the queen of gospel, traveling the world, recording award-winning albums, and leading congregations in worship. But that was years ago. Now, at 63, her voice had grown hoarse, her body weary, and her heart burdened with regret. Fame had faded, and with it, so had her faith. For years, she turned to alcohol to silence the pain of being forgotten. The people who once cheered for her no longer remembered her name, and the industry she had given her life to moved on without her. But the deepest wound came from the strained relationship with her daughter, Rochelle. Rochelle had grown up in the shadows of her mother's stardom, neglected by a woman too busy serving the Lord on stage to serve her at home. As a child, she watched her mother praise God in front of thousands, but come home too exhausted to tuck her into bed. And as Delores drowned her loneliness in a bottle, Rochelle walked away, not only from her mother, but from faith itself. The only bridge between them was Rochelle's 10-year-old daughter, Zora. A bundle of joy with an old soul, Zora adored her grandmother. She loved listening to Dolores's old records, singing along to every note. She was the only one who still saw her as the legend she once was. One afternoon, Zora stopped by for an unannounced visit. "Grandma Dee," she called as she let herself into the small, dimly lit apartment. The smell of liquor clung to the air. Delores, in one of her drinking stupors, lay on the sofa with an empty bottle beside her. She had fallen asleep with a cigarette in hand, and the smoldering ash had burned a small hole into the cushion. Zora's eyes widened in fear. "Grandma, wake up!" She shook Delores, who stirred and mumbled, her mind clouded with alcohol. A flicker of movement caught Zora's eye, a presence in the room, unseen yet felt. And then, as if guided by unseen hands, a gust of wind from the open window pushed the cigarette to the floor, where it fizzled out on the hardwood. The danger had passed, but Zora had seen enough. Tears streamed down her face as she ran out the door. That night, Delores awoke to a firm but gentle voice. "Delores Whitaker, do you know how close you came to losing her?" A man stood in the moonlit room, his presence both commanding and peaceful. His eyes held sorrow, but his face radiated warmth. Who are you?" Delores stammered, clutching her robe around her. "A messenger," he replied. "You have been given many gifts, Delores. A voice that lifted nations, a platform that brought souls to God. But the greatest gifts are the ones you turned away from. Your family, your faith, your own daughter." Delores felt her throat tighten. "I never meant to push Rochelle away. I just didn't know how to be both. A singer and a mother." "And now your granddaughter is paying the price," the angel said. "She could have been hurt tonight, and it would have been by your hands." The weight of his words crushed her. She broke down in sobs. "What do I do? How do I fix this?" The angel extended his hand. "Start where you left off. Call upon the one who gave you your gift in the first place." Delores swallowed hard, then hesitated. The cigarette, the fire, it should have spread, but it didn't. Why? The angel's eyes softened. "Because God is merciful. He sent me to intervene. The wind that knocked the cigarette from your couch, that was not chance. That was His hand, preventing a tragedy you would have never forgiven yourself for. But mercy does not mean you are without responsibility. He saved Zora tonight, but now you must choose to save yourself. For the first time in years, Delores fell to her knees. God, if you're still there, if you can still hear me, help me. The room filled with a peace she had long forgotten. And in that moment, she knew God had never left her. She had left him. The next morning, Delores called Rochelle. It wasn't easy. It took days, then weeks, for Rochelle to even consider a conversation beyond pleasantries. But Delores was patient, persistent. She went to counseling. She poured out every bottle in her apartment. She even joined a church, not as a singer, but as a servant. Months later, on a quiet Sunday morning, Delores stepped onto a church stage for the first time in years. She wasn't performing. She wasn't trying to reclaim her fame. She was simply worshiping. And as she sang, she spotted Rochelle in the congregation, tears streaming down her face, Zora holding her hand. After the service, mother and daughter embraced. It was the first time in decades that they truly saw each other. And then came the twist Delores never expected. "Mama," Rochelle whispered, "I know how hard addiction is. I've been sober for 3 years. I was too ashamed to tell you." Delores pulled her daughter closer, realizing in that moment that they had both been fighting the same battle, just on opposite sides of silence. That night, Delores sat at her piano, playing softly. Zora curled up beside her, humming along. For the first time in a long time, Delores didn't need the world's applause. She had something greater. She had faith, she had a family, and she had another chance.
Thank you for joining us on this journey. Remember, no matter what fires we face, faith will always carry us through. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Be sure to leave a comment. Subscribe for more stories that inspire and uplift. This is Echoes of Faith, where every story brings hope. If today's story moved you, be sure to discover more heartfelt journeys in the Echoes of Faith series and uplift your spirit. Don't miss out on the next chapter. There's always more to uncover.